The Edible Schoolyard in Berkeley is the original founding Edible Schoolyard. We are based at Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School in North Berkeley, California. And the idea of our program is to have a sensory gardening and cooking experience that connects to each and every student's curriculum in the school. The Edible Schoolyard was founded back in the early 90s with an insight from Alice Waters, local chef and proprietor of Chez Panisse restaurant, who lives in the neighborhood. And she saw this campus, and especially this huge, sort of vast wasteland of a parking lot on this gorgeous campus, and thought there should be something there that's living, something that the students can really be engaging in. And she and the principal met, and they decided to undertake this project of starting to put in a 1-acre garden that students would cultivate and that they would harvest from, and that then they would begin to cook those things. So that was the idea originally with Alice Waters, but it would never have come to fruition without the support of our principal at the time, Neil Smith. The garden is a wonderful place for students to connect with nature in a way that they may not have in their own home life. And also I think that the kitchen is a way for them to test their creativity and also expand their horizons in terms of being open-minded about trying new things.
So students learn all kinds of skills in the kitchen. Of course, they learn basic cooking skills like knife safety and how to read a recipe. But they're also learning a lot about life skills and non-cognitive skills, so how to work with each other, how to communicate as part of a team. They're also learning academic skills, how to follow a multi-step procedure, and it's really a classroom where you can teach anything.
When it comes to gardening, we're teaching students to do everything. So they are actually planting seeds and seeing it, tending to it, harvesting it, and then eventually cooking it in the garden and in the kitchen.
We tend to have a lot of engagement with the community at Edible Schoolyard. Not only do we have our evening cooking classes where students come back to school with their families and teach them to prepare the things that they have been learning how to make when they're here at school, but also we have a lot of community volunteers.
Plant sale is one of my favorite days of the year. We have it on the Saturday before Mother's Day. We had probably 10 different food stations selling all sorts of things, ranging from meatballs to fresh Vietnamese-style spring rolls. There's children's activities, and it's just a great family affair, a great way to spend a day in a beautiful space, supporting sustainable food. There were some baby goats at this year's plant sale. That was one of our kids' activities, along with some face painting and an opportunity to feed the chickens. And those activities are changing every year to keep it fresh and interesting and exciting for those people who come back year after year.
I think a lot of people agree with the music and the food and raffle and the kid zone, along with plants that people are interested in buying. Hundreds of people show up, and this past year, even when it rained, people showed up. And I think it's been more and more successful with student and King staff involvement. And so whenever it's a community event, you want more people involved. And so it's just a great opportunity for people to come out, learn about the program, and support the program.
And it's a big community gathering. It started out many, many years ago as just a plant sale, where the gardeners started extra plants in the greenhouse and sold them to King community members who wanted to start their own gardens, just as a way to support people growing their own food. More broadly, I think that the Edible Schoolyard influences the culture of Berkeley to an extent. A lot of the work that we do is through our website and through outreach and advocacy and kind of arguing for edible education to be in every school, not just in Berkeley, but across the state and across the country.
What I would want people to really understand about this program is that we have an amazing model here. We are 20 years into our programming, and the benefits are so clear. But I would encourage anybody to get started on any level, even if it's something just as simple as bringing a handful of oranges into your classroom and doing a tasting with your students and get the conversation going around food. I think as soon as you introduce food into a classroom or a setting, people start talking, they start sharing, they start finding ways to connect. And to me, that's really what this program is all about, is making those kind of connections.